Lamar Jackson comes out of the locker room and saves the season. What's your number one takeaway?
Game of the year, hold my beer. Man, this was absolutely incredible. And Lamar Jackson saved the Ravens season. And you can't say it any other way. And if you think about that fourth down play, comes jogging out of the locker room, gets on the field, and makes this throw to Hollywood Brown, the only reason, Greeny, the only reason this play was available was because of what he had done with his legs the entire game. The defensive backs had to be aware once he broke contain to come down and help tackle, whether it was a scramble or a design run. This is the formula for the Baltimore Ravens. Don't make any mistake about pocket passing, all that nonsense. The reason they beat the Browns on the fourth down play was because of Lamar Jackson and his athleticism. Remarkable play, biggest moment of the season. Lamar Jackson stands up. Just an incredible play to watch. As a fan, couldn't get any better than this.
Yeah, it was a spectacular night. And, Greg, I'm going to come to you for your tape in a minute. But, Swagoo, I did want to just pick up on that thought. I mean, Lamar Jackson had an MVP season last year in a year where everything felt like it came somewhat easy. This year it hasn't been nearly as easy. What do you think last night means for him?
I think it means everything, G, especially when you look at what Lamar went through, even previously to this game, but also during the game. And you think about his mentality, man. I mean, we talked about it yesterday on NFL Live. I thought he was going to have to be Superman, and that's exactly what he was. He's the best player outside of Patrick Mahomes when he's on the field. He's the most terrifying player with the ball in his hands, and you saw it last night. He creates for everyone. And when you have a transcendent player like that, it reminds us of how Baltimore can win. And I'm with Jeff and Greg, and they've been talking about the running game and let Lamar be who he is. Last night was no better definition of that. But I also think a part of that was the ability to throw the rock. That last drive was Lamar working from the pocket to Mark Andrews. Now, obviously, you want to get more people, but that was Superman last night. And that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens needed in order to win that game.
Marcus, in the very first conversation you and I had this morning, the first thing you said was that you took as much about the Browns out of last night as you did about the Ravens. What was it?
Yeah, offensively, G, let me make that caveat. When you look at what Baker Mayfield and this offense was able to do, look, for as good as his performance was, the ability to answer, right? Going down 28-14 and being able to work themselves back in that game. Baker didn't get overzealous. He didn't press. He took what the defense gave him. And Stefanski always wants Baker Mayfield to play like he played last night because it lends itself to him being their franchise quarterback and playing really well. He answered questions for me last night. When you talk about pressure, when you talk about the ability to make plays, when everything is on the line, the fourth down, scramble, touchdown, like all of these plays, it's a culmination of a lot of things that Baker Mayfield was able to do last night that for the first time since I've been watching him in big moments, he looked poised and he looked as good as any quarterback in the league. So that answered questions. From an offensive standpoint, it's going to be very hard to stop this football team if Baker Mayfield take care of the football. And I know the interception was catastrophic, and you can point to that. But that is him pressing. But he got immediately away from that and answered again and brought this team back to actually give them a lead. Only thing is, Superman was on the other damn side of the field.
Yeah, he left 64 seconds on the clock. Greg, I know you'll have some tape on Baker for us a little bit later, but it feels like every game he plays is a referendum on literally his entire career. Last night was a positive, right? I mean, last night feels to me like it was a big win for Baker Mayfield.
Greeny, I think it's the best I've ever seen him look. The first half, obviously a couple weeks ago, was pretty remarkable, 4 first-half touchdown passes. But last night with the game on the line, after experiencing the adversity of throwing a pick that put your own defense on their own 1-yard line, he bounced back 3 touchdowns after the interception, 1 with his legs, 2 through the air, and he was 11-14 for 150 yards. He was accurate. He was decisive. He didn't force the issue, and he took what the defense gave him in a 2-minute drill. So many young quarterbacks, man, I want to push the ball down the field. No, you saw soft coverage. Hey, man, I'm going to let my matchups work for me. And it was really, I thought it was a mature effort from Baker Mayfield, something that he can build on. And I think he probably grew by leaps and bounds as far as confidence is concerned and can build on that in the weeks to come down the home stretch and hopefully for the Browns in the playoffs.
So, Jeff, for a team that has been just dominated by Baltimore over the years, and including of game one this season, any semblance that last night feels like a moral victory to you?
I'm not about the moral victories, Greeny. Like I like what these guys are saying, but they still got beat. You know what I mean? So as well as he played, he still throws a pick that leads to 7 points, and he can't get up the. Who do they beat in their division? The Bengals. They don't beat the Steelers. They don't beat the Ravens. Like, we got problems. Listen, as important as the game was for Lamar Jackson last night to win, it's equally as important that Baker Mayfield beats the Steelers at the end of the season. He has to put a signature victory on. As well as they played, they still lost. And last time I checked, that's how we evaluate wins and losses.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.